Hey, coin hunters and curious minds! Welcome back, your digital vault for everything about US coins, rare finds, hidden errors, and jaw-dropping values in your pocket change. Today, we're putting the spotlight on the 2013 Liberty 1-cent coin, a coin you probably have lying around right now. But guess what? Some of these modern pennies are selling for up to $52. Sounds crazy for a coin that's just over a decade old, right? But behind this tiny piece of copper lies a big story, one rooted in history, design evolution, minting technology, and even human error. So grab a loupe, check your change jars, and let's uncover the surprising value of the 2013 Lincoln Shield cent. The Lincoln cent first entered circulation in 1909, celebrating 100 years since the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. It marked a major departure in American coinage, the first time a real person graced a circulating U.S. coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse design with Lincoln's profile has remained consistent ever since. But the reverse? That's where the changes happened. From the Whittier's reverse, 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial design, 1959 to 2008, each change marked a new chapter in America's story. In 2009, to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs depicting Lincoln's life. Then came 2010, and the birth of a bold new reverse, the Union Shield. In 2010, the U.S. Mint unveiled a sleek, symbolic reverse, the Union Shield, designed by Lyndall Bass and engraved by Joseph Mena. A bold shield with 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, a horizontal bar signifying the federal government, a scroll across the top reading 1CNT, the word United States of America encircling the top, the 2013 date, and mint mark below Lincoln's bust on the obverse. This design isn't just aesthetic. It's patriotic, evoking unity and strength after the Civil War and reminding Americans of Lincoln's mission to preserve the Union. Like all modern pennies since 1982, the 2013 1-cent coin is not solid copper. Specifications: core, 97.5% zinc plating, 2.5% copper diameter, 19.05 mm weight, 2.5 grams. This blend makes minting cheaper, but it also makes the coin more vulnerable to corrosion if damaged. The 2013 Lincoln cent was struck at 2 major mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Mintage numbers: Philadelphia, no mint mark 3 750 400 000, Denver D3 300 800 000. Let's find out. Heavily circulated 1 cent lightware, 2 to 5 cents MS65 red $5, $10 MS66 red $15, $30 MS67 red $40, $52 plus. This 2013 D Shield cent was graded MS67 red by PCGS, and it sold for $52 at auction. Modern coins are minted with speed and automation, and that's where mistakes happen. Here are the top errors to look for in 2013 pennies: double die obverse, DDO, doubling in Liberty, Indiana, God we trust. Or the date can fetch $25 to over $150 off. Center strike especially valuable if the design is 10% to 50% off, worth $20 to $100 plus. Die cracks and cuts, raised bumps or missing parts on the rim or letters, worth $10 to $50 plus. Struck through errors, foreign material like grease or fabric causes missing design elements. Value depends on visibility and rarity. Wrong planchet errors, pennies struck on dime, foreign, or blank planchets extremely rare and valuable. Use a loupe, 10x magnification, to inspect fine details. Weigh the coin. Anything far from 2.5 g could mean a planchet error. Check for full luster and uncirculated condition. Look for sharp detail in Lincoln's hair, cheek, and coat. If you think you have a valuable coin, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. A small investment can lead to big returns. Absolutely. Modern cents may be recent, but they're still collectible, especially when flawless or rare. Easy to find, low-cost entry for beginners. Many era varieties, increasing demand from collectors worldwide. So the next time you grab a penny from your pocket or the floor of your car, take a second look. That 2013 Lincoln Shield cent might just be hiding a $52 surprise. Or even more. Have you ever found a rare modern coin? Drop your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a treasure hunt. Today, we're talking about a small coin with a big story, the 1993 D Liberty 1 cent coin. That's right, just 1 cent, but this little piece of copper could be worth up to $50,000. So, how does a 1993 penny, one that millions of people used to toss into fountains, become a collectible treasure? Stick around, because we're diving deep into history, minting, varieties, errors, values, and what makes the 1993 D penny such a fascinating piece of American currency. The Lincoln cent is more than just currency, it's a legacy in your hand. First issued in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it became the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB can still be found on many early versions of the penny. Fast forward to the 1959 redesign, the wheat reverse was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, marking Lincoln's 150th birthday and the evolution of American numismatics. By the time 1993 rolled around, the Lincoln cent had become one of the most recognized and circulated coins in U.S. history. The 1993 D Liberty 1 cent coin was struck at the Denver Mint, denoted by the tiny D beneath the date. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced a staggering 6 for 26, 650, 571 pennies in Denver alone. That's right, over 6 billion coins. But here's where it gets interesting. Even with such a high mintage, not all pennies are created equal. Some of these 1993 D coins carry hidden errors, rare conditions, or minting anomalies that have caught the attention of professional collectors and grading services. Let's break down the metal magic behind the 1993 D penny. Unlike pre-1982 pennies that were solid copper, the 1993 D was made during the zinc era, a cost-saving shift by the U.S. Mint due to rising copper prices. Let's get straight to the point. How does a coin with over 6 billion mintage reach a market value of $50,000? Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, have graded 1993 D pennies at MS68 red, with one auction fetching over $4,500. In today's market, such pristine examples can reach or exceed $5,000 depending on demand. Now let's talk about the exciting part, minting errors. These accidental imperfections make coins exceptionally collectible. Look for doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date can fetch hundreds to thousands depending on grade. Especially valuable if the date is still visible, can be worth $100 to $500 plus a die break between the B and E of Liberty. Collectors love this variety. $20 to $150. Rare cases where the coin is accidentally struck on a non-US coin. Blank value depends on weight and material but can exceed $1,000. Raised bumps or missing portions of the design. Often worth $10 to $200. Inch bottom line, condition is king. A shiny, uncirculated penny that's been sitting untouched in a roll for 30 years could change your financial future. The Lincoln cent has the distinction of being the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this penny broke tradition by featuring a real historical figure, a first for the United States Mint. The original designer, Victor David Brenner, imbued the coin with symbolism and precision. For decades, it featured wheat ears on the reverse, before shifting to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, a tribute to Lincoln's lasting legacy in American culture and politics. The 1993 Lincoln cent belongs to the modern Memorial reverse era. These coins were struck using a copper-plated zinc planchet, a composition adopted by the U.S. Mint in mid-1982 to address rising copper costs. Features Lincoln's right-facing profile, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date *1993*. Displays the Lincoln Memorial with the inscription "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent. In 1993 alone, the Philadelphia Mint produced over $5.6 billion, and the Denver Mint produced over $6.4 billion. The San Francisco Mint struck fewer coins for proof sets. Now let's talk value. A 1993 Lincoln cent found in circulation, especially one that's been through years of wear, is usually worth exactly 1 cent. No surprises there. If your coin is in uncirculated or near mint condition, it tells a very different story. But these values require grading by professional services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, and such coins must be absolutely pristine. This is where the real excitement begins. Some 1993 Lincoln cents feature minting errors and anomalies that dramatically increase their value. Collectors actively seek these, examine coins under a 10x loop, check for weight irregularities, and look for design distortions. That's where the profit lies. For a 1993 penny to command $5000, it must meet strict conditions. Graded MS68 read by PCGS or NGC ** pristine copper sheen with 0 contact marks ** extremely low population in that grade, often fewer than 10 known examples ** sold at major auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers ** in one such case. A 1993 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 read by PCGS sold for nearly $4,800. Setting a benchmark for how valuable these coins can be in flawless condition. Even your grandparents' coin jar could hold a 1993 penny that's been preserved unknowingly for decades. So, there you have it, the 1993 Liberty 1 cent coin. To most, it's just spare change. But in the right condition, or with the right error, it could be life-changing money. This is why numismatics is such a powerful hobby. Because history, artistry, economics, and mystery all converge in something as small as a penny. Thumbs up. Smash that like button if you learned something new. Subscribe for more deep dives into rare US coins, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden treasure. Hey coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history buffs! Welcome back to Coins Liberty, the place where your spare change might just make you rich. Today, we're digging deep into the 2004 Liberty 1 cent coin, more commonly known as the 2004 Lincoln penny. That's right, this tiny copper-plated coin might be sitting in your drawer or change jar, and it could be worth up to $5,000. No joke. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that old coin jar, and stick around, because I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about this often overlooked but highly valuable piece of American currency. The Lincoln penny has a proud and patriotic history. First minted in 1909 to celebrate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it marked a historic shift. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, not Lady Liberty or a symbolic figure, but a real American leader. From its inception, the Lincoln cent has evolved with our nation. Over the decades, the reverse changed from wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and the design has become one of the most iconic images in numismatics. In 2004, the U.S. Mint struck over 7.1 billion Lincoln pennies. These were produced at both the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. While this seems like a high number, and it is, the value lies in the details. On the front, or obverse, we see the powerful profile of Abraham Lincoln. Above his head, "In God We Trust." To the left, "Liberty." And to the right, the date, 2004, sometimes followed by a small D indicating the Denver Mint. Flip it over, and you get the Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that had been in use from 1959 to 2008. Showing the Grand Monument from Washington, D.C., with tiny Lincoln seated inside, a little known but cool detail. The 2004 Lincoln cent is not solid copper, unlike pre-1982 pennies. Instead, it's composed of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper coating, making it lighter and cheaper to produce. Weight: 2.5 grams diameter, 19.05 mm thickness, 1.52 mm. So why does this cheap little penny have the potential to be worth thousands? Let's find out. Here's what most 2004 pennies are worth depending on their condition, if they're pulled from circulation. Worn, circulated penny, still 1 cent, slightly better condition, XF to AU 5 to 25 cents. Uncirculated, mint state penny, 50 cents to $5. Inch. But when you factor in rarity, mint errors, and exceptional condition, that value can skyrocket. In fact, some 2004 Lincoln cents in pristine MS69 red condition have sold for as high as $5,000 at auction. Let's talk about the hidden treasure, those valuable mistakes made during the minting process. These mint errors are where collectors really start to pay top dollar. Doubling on liberty, the date, or in God we trust. Value: $100 to $1, 500 plus off center strike. The design is struck away from center if 50% off and date is visible. $250 to $1,000 BIE error, die break in liberty. Small die break creates a BIE between the letters. Value: $25 to $200 struck on a foreign planchet, rare but real. Some pennies struck on blanks meant for other coins. Value: $500 to $2,000 clipped planchets, or die caps. Partial coin blanks or struck coins stuck to dies. Value: $50 to $500 plus. If you're lucky enough to find a 2004 penny with one of these errors, and it's in excellent condition, you might just be sitting on a $5,000 payday. Alright, here's how you can start your own hunt. Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or 10x jeweler's loupe. Step 2. Look at liberty and the date. Check for doubling. Step 3. Check the edge of the coin. Look for clipping or off-center strike. Step 4. Weigh the coin. It should be exactly 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could be a wrong planchet. To sell your coin for top dollar, you'll need professional grading. Top agencies include PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A coin graded as MS69 red, virtually perfect with full red luster, can be worth thousands. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. That ordinary-looking 2004 penny in your pocket might just be a rare gem waiting to be discovered. So check your coins, study those dates, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Because when it comes to coin collecting, the smallest details lead to the biggest paydays. Have you ever found a rare 2004 penny? Tell us in the comments below. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more awesome coin stories, hidden treasures, and money-making secrets. And don't forget to share this video. Who knows? One of your friends might be holding on to a fortune without knowing it. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover America's hidden coin gems one penny at a time. If you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications because today we're diving deep into the top 8 most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies that are worth millions of dollars. Money bag. Yes, you heard that right, millions. This isn't just pocket change. These are rare historic pieces that could change your life if you find one in your collection. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins from early 20th century America, the 1917 Lincoln wheat penny. This isn't just an old copper coin, it's a historical artifact, a rarity among U.S. coins, and for some lucky collectors it's worth an astonishing $70,588 to $73,884 on the current market. Yes, you heard that right, over $70,000 for a single penny. Stick around as we uncover the incredible story behind this coin, its origins, minting details, errors to look for, and what gives it such jaw-dropping value today. Let's kick things off with a bit of historical context. The year was 1917. The United States had just entered World War I. The country was shifting into full industrial gear, and every aspect of American life was being influenced by the war effort, including coin production. During this time, the Lincoln wheat penny was still a relatively new coin, having only been introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Briner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person but one of America's most respected presidents. Now, when it commenced, mint marks the S in 1917. S stands for San Francisco, where a smaller number of these pennies were struck compared to the Philadelphia and Denver mints. San Francisco was known for producing fewer coins, which already gave the 1917 Lincoln penny a level of scarcity. In total, only about 32 million of these were minted. That might sound like a lot, but over a century later, only a tiny fraction remain in good condition, especially in mint state or uncirculated grades. So, what makes this coin so incredibly valuable? There are a few key factors at play: scarcity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. Most of the 1917 Lincoln were heavily circulated, meaning they've suffered wear and tear over the decades. Finding one with crisp details, sharp edges, and no damage is extremely rare. In fact, high-grade specimens of this coin, those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are almost never seen in the wild, and lower grades, say fine or very fine condition. A 1917's penny might be worth anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on the coin's appearance, but once you step into the AU about uncirculated range, prices can jump to several hundred. And here's where things get really exciting in midstate, especially MS65 red. This coin can sell for over $70,000. In fact, recent auction record shows sales ranging from $70,588 to $73,884 for pristine examples. That's not just a coin, that's a life-changing discovery for a lucky collector or metal detectorist. So what exactly should you look for if you think you've come across a 1917's penny? First, check the obverse or the front of the coin. You should see Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "In God We Trust" across the Liberty on the left, and the year 1917 just below his portrait. Then flip it toward reverse. The wheat ears on both sides give this coin its wheat penny nickname. The words 1 cent and United States of America appear in bold capital letters with Euribus above. Now, the key identifier is the small S mint mark just beneath the date on the front of the coin. That S tells you it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Be careful not 4:36 to confuse it with a 1917 from Philadelphia, which would have no mint mark, and while that version can also be valuable, it doesn't come close to the price tag of a high-grade 1917 set. You might be wondering, why do coins like this fetch such high prices? Well, it comes down to collector psychology and market economics. Serious coin collectors are always chasing the highest graded versions of the rarest coins to complete their sets. The 1917s in top condition is notoriously hard to find. It's like the missing puzzle piece in a century-old masterpiece. That scarcity drives intense demand, which drives up auction prices. In fact, some coins from this era are graded red, brown, or brown based on how much off their original copper luster remains. A 1917's and MS65 red condition. That's basically a unicorn in the world of pennies. Now let's talk briefly about errors. While the 1917s itself isn't known for major errors like double dies or off-center strikes, some examples might have small die cracks for punchment marks or weak strikes, and these can sometimes add a premium to the coin's value. However, condition remains the number one factor when it comes to breaking into that $70,000 plus territory. So where can you find one of these coins? You might think they only exist in elite collections or auction houses, and that's mostly true, but every now and then stories surface of someone finding one in a penny roll, an old coin jar, or even in estate sales. If you're a metal detectorist, or you inherited coins from a relative, it's always worth checking those old wheat pennies for rare dates and mint marks, because the next hidden treasure could be sitting in your hands. If you do believe you have a 1917s penny in good condition. The next step is to have it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC can evaluate your coin and give it a certified grade that adds legitimacy and value in the marketplace. A certified MS651917S Lincoln penny can command the highest level of trust and interest from serious buyers. Sum it up, the 1917 S Lincoln wheat penny is more than just a copper coin. It's a piece of American history, a collector's gem, and potentially a six-figure jackpot in your coin collection. With only a few surviving in exceptional condition, its rarity, beauty, and historical significance make it one of the most sought-after coins in the Lincoln series. Whether you're a long-time collector or a newcomer to the hobby, this is one coin that deserves a spot on your radar. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare and valuable US coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Got a coin you want us to cover next? Drop it in the comments. Who knows? Your old penny might be worth a fortune. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes open, because even a single penny could change your life. Welcome back, coin collectors and history lovers. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and surprisingly valuable coins in the world of US numismatics, the 1941 mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. That's right, a small copper coin minted during the early years of World War II could now be worth up to $70,664 on the current market. You're going to want to stick around to the end of this video, because we're going to cover everything: the origin, key details, rare errors, what makes this coin special, and how you can tell if you're holding a small fortune in your own change jar. Let's go back in time to the year 1941. The world was deep in the throes of World War II, and the United States was still a few months away from officially entering the conflict, yet millions of Americans were already involved in war-related industries, and the U.S. Mint was doing its part by producing coinage to support the growing economy. In that year, the Denver Mint, represented by the small D mint mark, struck over 3 million Lincoln wheat cents. Designed by Victor David Breener, the Lincoln cent was already an American staple since its debut in 1909. But what makes the 1941 D penny stand out among all the others? It's not just its age, it's the condition, the rarity of high grades, and the placed on flawless specimens that make this coin such a prized collector's item today. While most 1941 D pennies are only worth a few cents to a few dollars, there are rare gems that have fetched upwards of $70,000 at auction. The 1941 D Lincoln wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs about 3.11 g and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. On the outverse, you'll see the profile of President Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, Libertado the left, and the date 1941 to the right. Just below the mint mark D for Denver, the reverse features two wheat stalks arching along the sides, hence the name wheat penny, with the words 1 cent and United States of America in the center. Above that reads the Latin for suribus unionum, which means out of many one. Why is it worth so much? Now let's talk about the $1,000,000 question, or rather the $70,000 one. Why is this little copper penny worth up to $70,664 today? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and demand. While over 128 million 1941 D pennies were minted, most of them circulated heavily. That means they suffered scratches, nicks, fading, and oxidation over time. However, a very small number of these coins were set aside and preserved in nearly flawless condition, what we call mint state or MS. The highest value comes from coins graded MS 67+, read by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins have vibrant original red color, full strike details, and virtually no marks under magnification. Collectors and important tips: always handle your coins carefully, no scratches, no wiping, and preferably wear gloves. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC to maximize its value. Avoid selling to local pawn shops or random buyers. Online auction houses and specialist coin dealers will offer you the real deal. Collectors and investors are willing to pay a fortune for these era coins because they are rare, and rarity equals value. Depending on its condition, even a moderately worn one can fetch thousands. So what's the current market value for these coins? A genuine 1982 no mintum mark small date penny in top mint state condition MS 67 or higher could bring in offers between $50,000 and $745,000. That's enough for a new house, a dream vacation, or to retire early, all from a single penny. So take a moment after this video to check your old jars, drawers, and those coffee tins you Never know what little piece of history might be hiding there. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. For more tips on rare coins and collectibles, got an old coin you're curious about? Drop a comment below. I love helping folks uncover hidden treasures. Hey there, treasure hunters, where we talk about hidden gems hiding in your pocket change. Whether you're a collector or just cleaning out your old drawers, today's video could make you look at your pennies a little differently. Imagine this: you're rolling pennies for the bank or sorting through an old coin jar, and you stumble upon an ordinary-looking 2014 Lincoln penny. But here's the twist: that little coin might not be so ordinary after all. Some rare versions of this penny with no mint mark have reportedly fetched up to $745,000 at auctions. That's right, $745,000 for a single cent. Let's break this down. The Abraham Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since 1909. The 2014 version continues the classic Lincoln design on the front with the Union shield on the back. But the real kicker: some of these 2014 pennies were minted with errors or unique features that make them incredibly valuable. Most modern pennies carry oddity letter under the year: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But if your 2014 penny has no mint mark, and especially if it has a rare error, it could be worth a small fortune. You might be asking, why would anyone pay $745,000 for a penny? Well, the world of coin collecting is fueled by rarity, condition, and demand. Coins with errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or misprinted lettering are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own one. Now, before you rush to check your penny jar, here are the key signs to watch for: no mint mark below the year, uncirculated or mint condition, no scratches or heavy wear like doubling off-center strike or a smooth rim. Collectors have documented some incredible sales. For example, era pennies from other years have sold for $50,000, $150,000, and reports suggest certain 51:402014 era pennies without a mint mark have been valued as high as $745,00051:47 now. Even if yours isn't the jackpot, a 2014 era penny could still bring in anywhere from $100 to several thousand depending on its condition and rarity. If you think you've got a winner, here's what to do next: inspect with a magnifying glass or coin loop. Get your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Consult with a trusted. Welcome back, Coins Liberty. If you're holding a penny from 1986 with a tiny little D under the date, you might want to stop what you're doing and listen carefully. That little copper-colored coin that's been lying forgotten in your change jar, tucked away in a drawer, or slipped into your couch cushions might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Some collectors and insiders believe that certain 198060 Lincoln cents could be hiding incredibly rare mint errors or characteristics that drive their value sky high. Some claims even suggest up to $98 million. Yes, you heard that right, $98 million for a single penny. Sounds unbelievable. Let's dive deep into the story behind this humble coin and find out why it has collectors, historians, and investors alike buzzing with interest. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Breener, the penny underwent several subtle and not so subtle changes over the years. In 1959, the reverse design changed from the classic Wheaters to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. This design remained until 2008. By 1986, the penny was well into the Memorial reverse era, but even within that seemingly mundane year, there are hidden gems, anomalies, minting quirks, and mysteries that have stunned the numismatic community. Let's start with the basics. The 1980-60 Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, Colorado, indicated by the mint mark just below the date. On the obverse of the coin, the Denver Mint produced a massive number of these coins, over 4.44 billion, with numbers that high. You'd expect the 198060D to be one of the most common coins out there, and in general it is. You can still find them in circulation, and most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But here's where things get interesting. Within that ocean of coins there exists variations, tiny details, minting errors, and even unique chemical compositions that can turn a mundane penny into a once-in-a Lifetime-fine numismatists have found examples of 198060 Lincoln cents with double die-off center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even coins struck on planchettes meant for other denominations or years. Some of these errors are easy to miss unless you look closely, others jump right out at you and leave you in a punt. One of the most famous types of mint errors is the double die in a double die coin, the die that strikes. The coin has a duplicated image due to a mistake during the hubbing process. When that coin is struck with such a die, it shows doubling in the text numbers or other design elements. While the 198060 ISNT is well known for double dies, say the 1955 or 1969s, there are confirmed examples out there. Doubling on Liberty in God We Trust, or the date itself, can command impressive premiums depending on how strong and visible the doubling is. Then there are the off-metal errors. Coin struck on the wrong planchet, say a dime planet instead of a cent, would be smaller and lighter than usual. These are incredibly rare, and if one were found from 1986 with the Denver mark especially in high grade, its value could skyrocket into the thousands, or even more. Now imagine a coin with multiple errors or a previously unknown variety. Those are the kinds of coins that spark rumors of astronomical value. Some coin experts speculate that among these billions of 198,060 pennies there may be one or two outliers, coins that were struck under mysterious circumstances like experimental planets, early test strikes, or transitional errors that never made it to the public eye. These might never have been intended for release, and if they did find their way into circulation, their value would be almost immeasurable. That's where we get to the sensational claim of a penny worth $98 million. Now, is there any confirmed auction record of a 1986 Lincoln selling for $98 million? Not officially. No major auction house like Heritage Auction, Stack's, Bowers, or Great Collections has ever recorded a sale even remotely close to that figure. The most valuable pennies on record include the 1943 copper penny, the 1909 SVDB, the 1955 double die, and other historic rarities. Those fetch tens or hundreds, oft thousands, occasionally more. But a $98 million 1980-60 Lincoln cent, that number has circulated online, often fueled by clickbait articles, viral TikTok videos, and wild speculation. So where did the $98 million figure come from? It's likely a combination of rumor, hype, and the powerful influence of social media. Some people might be confusing speculative estimates, private sales that were never verified, or outright hoaxes. Still, the idea persists, and it's not entirely without merit. Coins have sold for tens of millions, like the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for over $18 million in 2021. Could a 1-cent coin someday join those ranks if it's unique enough, has the right backstory, and finds the right buyer? Anything's possible. Point 1. Could imagine a coin with such a pedigree, a previously undiscovered ultra error or only of a kind prototype, mistakenly released from the mint. Add to that a compelling origin story. Maybe it was part of a special batch created during a brief experimental run, or maybe it was found in a roll of coins handed down through generations, passed over countless times before someone finally. Its rarity, that's the magic of numismatics. You never know what you're holding until you take a closer look, even without the $98 million price. The 198060 penny has other aspects that make it worth examining. High-grade examples, coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they have red color designation and pristine surfaces. Full red RD Lincoln cents free of spots, scratches, or signs of circulation are surprisingly scarce, considering how many were minted. Collectors love them, and registry sets are always hunting for the best examples. Coin shows online, marketplaces, and auction sites regularly feature 198060 pennies with minor but meaningful errors, and each sale helps build a growing sense that there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. You'll also find YouTubers and TikTok creators scanning pocket change, roll hunting, and showing off coins they believe could be the next $1 million discovery. While many oft-hosed claims are exaggerated or speculative, they're rooted in a very real truth. There are hidden treasures out there. So if you're holding a 198060 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it. Use a magnifying glass, look for signs of doubling, unusual color, weight differences, or any design anomalies. Compare it to known varieties. If you think you found something rare, consider sending it to a professional. Grading encapsulated by PCGS NGC or Annex could be the first step in revealing its true value, and who knows, maybe you're holding a coin that could one day rewrite the record books. In the world of coin collecting, stories are just as valuable as the coins themselves. The myth of the $98 million penny isn't just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the romance of history, and the endless curiosity that drives collectors to keep searching. Each coin tells a story, and some stories like that of the 198060 Lincoln cent just might end with a fortune. So next time you get change at store, don't be too quick to spend that penny. It might just be the key to unlocking a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your hopes high, because sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. And as always, happy hunting. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we explore rare coins, fascinating numismatic facts, and unbelievable stories from the world of currency collecting. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about pennies in recent times, the 1989 Lincoln cent, specifically one that has been rumored to be worth as much as $98 million. That's right, $98 million, but is it true? What's the real story behind the 1989 penny? Is there really a mint mark? Is it rare? Is it valuable? And should you be checking your change right now? Let's break it all down to understand the 1989 Lincoln cent and why it's generating so much buzz online. We need to go back to the basics first. Let's talk about the design. The 1989 penny features the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Briner. This design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it replaced the Indian head cent. It was the first used coin to feature a real person, and since then Lincoln has remained a constant. On the 1 cent piece on the reverse side of the 1989 penny, we have the Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat ears design that adorned the reverse from 1909 to 1958. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and was used until 2008, when it was replaced with a series of commemorative designs celebrating Lincoln's life, followed by current shield reverse starting in 2010. Now let's talk about mint marks. In 1989, pennies were minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia minted coins usually Carino mint mark, while Denver minted coins bear the D mint mark. San Francisco struck some proof coins with an S mint mark, but these were not released into circulation. So where does the mysterious M mint mark come from? That's where the story gets interesting and a little murky. There are online rumors and viral videos claiming that a 1989 penny with an M mint mark is a super rare and valuable coin, sometimes quoted as being worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even $98 million. Let's be clear, as of now the United States Mint has never officially used an M mint mark for any of its coins. The primary mint marks used over the years include P for Philadelphia, D for Denver's, for San Francisco, W for West Point, and occasionally no mint mark at all for Philadelphia issues in the past. So the idea of a 1989 penny with an M mint mark suggests one of a few possibilities. First, it could be a counterfeit or a novelty coin. There are thousands of fantasy pieces out there, coins that are altered, modified, or engraved by private individuals and sold online as collector items. These aren't legal tender and carry any real numismatic value in most cases. If you see an M stamped onto a 1989 penny, it may have been engraved after it left the mint. In such cases, the coin might still be interesting from a novelty perspective, but it's not a recognized U.S. mint variety, and therefore not valuable in the traditional numismatic market. Second, it's possible that some people are mistaking a designer's initial for a mint mark. On the obverse of the Lincoln cent, you'll see the initials VDB near the shoulder of Lincoln. These are the initials of the original designer, Victor David Briner. Sometimes, due to circulation wear or dye, doubling those letters can look distorted or misread. Someone might interpret the B or the V as an M, especially if they're hoping to find a rare variety. This confusion has added fuel to the rumors about an M mint mark, but again, there is no official mint mark. Where does the claim of $98 million come from? That figure appears to have originated from clickbait videos and viral social media posts. These posts often use flashy thumbnails, sensational headlines, and dramatic language to attract viewers. They'll claim things like, "You might be rich and not know it," or "This penny could make you a millionaire," and they'll show a regular penny with an exaggerated price tag. The $98 million number is a great example of number 1989 penny with or without an was ever sold for even a fraction of that amount. Let's look at real data from the numismatic market in circulated condition. A 1989 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. It was minted in enormous quantities, over 7.2 billion. From Philadelphia and more than 5.3 billion from Denver. That means there are over 12 billion 1989 pennies out there because of this even. Uncirculated examples aren't particularly rare in MS65 condition. A 1989 D penny might be worth 10 to 25 if you're lucky enough to find one graded MS67 or higher. It could be worth a few dollars, maybe $5 to $15 depending in demand and toning. A flawless example in MS68, which would be considered nearly perfect, could fetch upwards of $100 to $200, but those are extremely rare and need to be verified and graded by a third-party service like PCGS or NGC. There are also proof coins from 1989, made in San Francisco Mint. These coins are mirror-like and were struck for collectors. They bear the S Mint mark. A 1989 S-proof penny in PR69 deep cameo might be worth $5 to $10. In PR70, which is perfect condition, it might fetch around $25 to $40 depending on the market. Again, nowhere near $98 million. Another factor that can increase a coin's value is errors. Are there any known errors or varieties for the 1989 penny? Yes, there are a few error coins from 1989 that collectors look for. These include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, clipped planets, and coins struck on the wrong metal. These errors can be worth more depending on severity, rarity, and demand. A dramatic off-center 1989 penny might sell for $10 to $50. A double die, if it's a major one, could be worth even more. However, no major double die variety has been confirmed for the 1989 cent, at least not on the scale of something like the famous 1955 or 1969 S double die sets. There is one curious footnote worth mentioning. Some collectors have reported seeing 1989 pennies with unusual die clashes or planchet defects. In rare cases, when a coin blank is struck with dies intended for another denomination, for example a penny struck on a dime planchet, that error can be extremely valuable. If such a 1989 off-metal error exists, it could indeed fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, but these are extremely rare and again not anywhere near $98 million. So where does this leave us? The 1989 penny is a perfectly normal and common coin for most of us. If you have a circulated one in your pocket or a change jar, it's worth 1 cent. If you find a mint sticky example, it might be worth a bit more to the right buyer. If you believe you found something unusual like a strange mint mark, an off-metal strike, or a weird die clash, you should have it authenticated by a professional grading service. But the rumors about a coin being worth tens of millions, they're not based in reality. Theory, part of the viral content ecosystem designed to get clicks and views, often at the expense of real information. Still, that doesn't mean you shouldn't look at your change. The fun of coin collecting is that you never know what you might find. Rare coins do get discovered in circulation from time to time, and having a sharp eye, a good reference guide, and a little patience can go a long way. Just don't fall for the hype without doing the research. The United States Mint's official records auction house databases like Heritage and Stack's, Bowers, and grading company census reports are all great sources for verifying coin values and rarity. Wrap this up. The 1989 Lincoln penny is a piece of history. It reflects the ongoing legacy of one of America's most beloved presidents, a continuation of a century-old design, and a testament to the billions of coins produced every year by the U.S. Mint. While most 1989 pennies aren't rare and none with an M Mint mark are officially recognized, the stories collecting remains such a fascinating and accessible hobby, and who knows, the next time you get a handful of change, maybe you'll find something truly special. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic content, and let me know in the comments what coin you want us to talk over next. Until then, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Today, we're diving deep into a coin you may have overlooked, the 2002 Liberty 1 cent coin from the United States. That's right, the good old penny, but not just any penny. This 2002 version, under the right conditions, can be worth as much as $5,000. Grab your coin jars, because we're about to show you why this 1 cent coin could make you rich. The Lincoln cent is not just a piece of metal, It's a living piece of American history. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln penny honored the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original penny featured wheat stalks on the reverse, known to collectors as the wheat penny. This design lasted until 1958. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This iconic reverse remained until 2008. So the 2002 penny? It's part of the final chapter in the Lincoln Memorial era, just 6 years before the design was retired. Let's talk about the 2002 D Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, indicated by the small d mint mark under the date. Here's what you need to know about this specific year and mint. Now you're probably thinking, if there are billions of these coins out there, how can one be worth $5,000? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and those special minting anomalies. Even though the 2002 D penny is incredibly common in circulation, what makes certain specimens so valuable comes down to 3 key factors. Coins that are graded by top-tier services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, in the range of MS68 or higher are rare. The surface must be flawless, full red luster, no contact marks, and brilliant eye appeal. *MS65 red, around $5 *MS66 red, around $15 to $30 *MS67 red, $100 to $300 *MS68 red, up to $5,000 or more at auction. Certain errors and varieties make these pennies highly collectible. Look for doubling in the letters. Liberty, in God we trust, or the date can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars. The more off-center it is, with the date still visible, the more valuable it becomes, worth $50 to $500 plus a small die break between the B and E in Liberty, forming what looks like an I $20 to $100. Rare, unexpected errors like being struck on the wrong metal or with part of the coin missing up to $1,000 or more, less dramatic but still collectible $5 to $250 depending on visibility and uniqueness. While billions were minted, very few coins survived uncirculated and untouched. Most 2002 pennies were used in commerce, scratched, worn, and tossed aside. But a few found their way into coin rolls, mint sets, and collectors' hands in near-perfect condition. In circulation, a 2002 D penny is worth 1 cent. Even in lightly circulated condition, it's typically face value. But in the collector's market, value skyrockets with condition and rarity. *10x magnifying loupe, for spotting errors and die varieties. *digital scale, should weigh exactly 2.5 grams. Coin grading guide, to estimate condition. Coin flip holders or capsules, for storing high-quality finds. Reference sites, like PCGS, NGC, and errorf.com. Start by checking rolls of pennies, jars, estate sales, and coin shows. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. 2002 was a transitional year in America. Just months after the tragic events of 9/11, the country stood united. Patriotism surged, and American symbols like the Lincoln penny became even more meaningful. This makes the 2002 penny not just a coin, but a time capsule of American resilience, a reminder of the strength behind the face of Lincoln. The 2002 Liberty 1 cent coin might look ordinary, but in the right condition, with the right eye, it could be worth a small fortune. If you're new to collecting, the Lincoln Cent series is the perfect place to start. Affordable, educational, and full of surprises. Speech Balloon, have you found a rare 2002 penny? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into treasure. Bell subscribe, speech balloon comment, thumbs up like. Would you believe that a single penny from your pocket, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth up to $7,000? Well, don't blink. Because today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 2011 Liberty 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Cent. This tiny copper-plated marvel might just be the hidden treasure sitting in your change jar. The journey of the Lincoln Cent began in 1909, when the U.S. Mint released a brand new penny to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This was the first American coin to feature a real person, breaking away from classical imagery like Lady Liberty. The original wheat-backed design lasted until 1958, followed by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse from 1959 to 2008. But everything changed again in 2010 when the Union Shield Reverse was introduced, a powerful symbol of Lincoln's legacy and the preservation of the Union. And that brings us to the star of today's video, the 2011 Liberty 1-cent coin. A modern marvel with deep historical roots. Let's take a closer look at the design. Obverse, front classic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Inscriptions: In God We Trust, Liberty, and the year 2011 mint marks, either a D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, though Philly mint marks are omitted, or S for San Francisco. Proofs reverse, Union Shield with 13 vertical stripes and a horizontal bar bearing the inscription 1 cent. Symbolizing a unified nation. Designer, Lindell. Base, reverse, and Brenner, verse. Composition, core, zinc, 97.5%, coating, copper, 2.5%. Weight, 2.5 grams. Diameter, 19.05 mm. This modern penny is not made of solid copper like its pre-1982 ancestors. It's a zinc core with a thin copper plating, cost-effective, but it makes certain mint errors much more likely. And that's where the value begins to skyrocket. In 2011, the U.S. Mint produced over 5.4 billion Lincoln cents, split between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia, 2.37 billion. Denver, 2.53 billion. San Francisco, proofs less than 1 million. So you might ask, how can a coin with billions in circulation be rare? The answer lies in grading, striking quality, and one magical word: errors. Let's talk numbers. Lightly circulated condition, up to 5 cents. Average circulated coins don't bring in much, unless they have something special. MS66 red, $10, $20 MS67 red, $50, $150 MS68 red, PCGS/NGC $300, $700 MS69 red, $2,000, $7,000 note. Only a handful of 2011 pennies have been found in this condition. Yes, you heard that right. A perfectly preserved 2011 penny can be worth as much as $7,000. That's the power of condition and rarity. Some of the most valuable 2011 Liberty pennies aren't just about condition, they're about minting mistakes. Here are the ones to watch for. Doubling of letters in Liberty or In God We Trust. Value, $100 to $1,000 plus off-center strike struck significantly off-center, but date still visible. Value, $50 to $500 struck on foreign planchet wrong metal, lighter or heavier weight. Value, $1,000 plus BI error, die break in Liberty, a raised line between the B and E. Value, $25 to $150 clipped planchet crescent moon-shaped cut from edge. Value, $50 to $300. These errors are like hidden lottery tickets, and you don't need to be an expert to spot them. All you need is a good magnifier and a keen eye. Here's what you need: 10x jeweler's loupe or USB microscope, digital coin scale, grams, good lighting, knowledge of grading terms, MS equals mint state, RD equals red, look at the color. Is it bright red or dull brown? Check for doubling or die cracks. Weigh it. It should be around 2.5 grams. Anything much different could be struck on the wrong planchet. Compare with online error photos. Submit to PCGS or NGC if it looks promising. As more people discover the value of modern coin errors, demand is rising. The top-graded 2011 Liberty 1-cent coins are poised to increase in value, especially as high-grade specimens are extremely rare. If you hold a near-perfect 2011 penny today, you might be holding tomorrow's five-figure auction star. The 2011 Lincoln cent may be young, but it's already rewriting the rules of modern coin collecting. A coin worth 1 cent in your pocket could turn into a $7,000 jackpot. So go ahead, check your piggy bank, old coin jars, and even your couch cushions. You never know what treasure you might find. Like this video if you love coin collecting, comment if you found any rare pennies, subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins and US numismatic secrets. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifiers handy, and remember, every coin tells a story. Hey coin lovers, treasure hunters, and YouTube fam! Welcome back to Coins Liberty, where the tiniest things can have the biggest value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing US coins of the 21st century, the 2011 D Liberty 1-cent coin, also known as the 2011 D Lincoln Shield penny. You may have one of these sitting in your pocket change right now. What if I told you, this very coin, minted for just 1 cent, could be worth as much as $67,000? Let's explore the fascinating history, minting secrets, key errors, and how a simple coin from Denver could become your golden ticket. The Lincoln cent was first minted in 1909, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, none other than President Abraham Lincoln. For 50 years, it bore the iconic wheat ears reverse. In 1959, that changed to the Lincoln Memorial, commemorating Lincoln's 150th birthday. Show evolution from wheat to memorial to shield. But in 2010, the penny saw its most dramatic makeover in over a century. The reverse was changed to the Union Shield design, symbolizing national unity after the Civil War, a nod to Lincoln's enduring legacy. The coin in the spotlight today was minted in 2011 at the Denver Mint. That's what the tiny D below the date stands for. Obverse, classic Lincoln profile reverse. The Union Shield with the inscription 1 cent and the motto E Pluribus Unum designer. Obverse by Victor David Brenner. Reverse by Lindo base composition. 97.5% zinc. 2.5% copper plating weight. 2.5 grams. Over 2.5 billion of these coins were minted in Denver. So, why is one worth $67,000? Despite the high mintage, a few rare specimens of the 2011 D penny are incredibly valuable due to minting errors, grade rarity, and unique die anomalies. Double dies off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks, cuds and cracks. Ultra-high grades coins graded MS69RD or MS70RD by PCGS or NGC are virtually flawless. Only a handful exist in this condition in one confirmed case. A near-perfect 2011 D penny was valued and auctioned at $67,000 market demander coins and perfect. Modern specimens are hot commodities in today's coin market. Collectors compete for uniqueness, even in newer coins. Let's break down the types of errors that make this coin a jackpot. Look at Lincoln's eye, nose, and Liberty lettering. Estimated value, $100, $2, 500 plus off-center strikes 5, 90% off-center, especially valuable if the date is visible. Worth $50, $1,000 plus struck on foreign planchet penny, struck on a dime or other blank value, up to $5,000 plus clipped planchet, a curved edge or missing chunk. Worth $100, $750 BIE error, die break in Liberty between the B and E value. $25, $100. Inch to fetch top dollar, your coin must be professionally graded. Trusted Graders, PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, MS 65-66, Premium Uncirculated, $10, 100 MS 67, Very High-End, $100, 500 MS 68, Near Perfection, $1,000 plus MS 69 plus, Rarest Known, auction values $10. 000, $67,000. Let's compare the value of the 2011 D penny in different conditions. Heavily worn, 1 cent light wear, 2 to 5 cents rare strike errors or MS 68 plus, $500, $5,000 MS 69 red, $10,000, $30,000 known perfect specimen, up to $67,000. Inch want to find your own $67,000 treasure? Here's how. Search penny rolls from banks and coin shows. Use a 10x loop or USB microscope. Look for error signs and unusual luster. Weigh your coin. It should be exactly 2.5 g. Submit to PCGS or NGC if you suspect high grade or rare error. And when you're ready to sell, eBay, Great Collections, or Heritage Auctions are your best bets. Who would have thought a 2011 penny, something we all overlook, could hold the power to change a life? Whether you're a collector, a beginner, or just someone cleaning out their change jar, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Smash that like button if you're going hunting for this penny. Subscribe for more coin stories that just might make you rich. And drop a comment below if you found a cool coin. You never know, we might feature it next. Until next time, keep searching, because history hides in your pocket.